What's up, everybody? This is Ian Vendetta with a mukbang. We don't do much mukbang because I don't feel like when I'm eating it's special. But today is a special meal. This is a meal I used to do. You can see a video on my YouTube for what I did. It's basically cream of mushroom, ramen, seasoning, samyung. We had balduk, 4 cheese, spicy sauce, and we have a cream of chicken plus some nice cheddar. Yeah, so today I was thinking about what talking about to talk about, and I'm gonna do something that's very, very important to me. Something I'm feeling a lot right now, and most of you guys know. I was diagnosed with depression a couple of weeks ago, and I'm on a shit ton of medication. Right, I'm on a shit ton of medication, and today's just one of the good day. I have a lot of bad days. That's why I don't film that much, but I have some good days, and today's a good day. So I just wanted to share with you. I received today. The subject is going to be feeling guilt as I'm lucky. Is it normal to feel guilt when you're lucky? And absolutely normal because, for example, today I received a text from a guy I work with, right? And he took the place I had at work. He was replacing me, and the guy, the bully, is bullying him now. So like he asked me when am I coming back? Not because he cared, but because he doesn't want to get bullied, right? And I realized that in all this, in a fucked up way, in a very ironic way, I'm still one of the luckier ones because I don't get bullied. I have a nice surrounding. I get to stream the whole day. I'm genuinely, most of the days, I'm not that bad. Some days are really, really bad. I can't get out of bed. For example, yesterday and the day before, I couldn't get out of bed. Right? Sleeping like 15, 14 hours. But all of this to say, I think feeling guilty when you're lucky is similar to the survivor syndrome, right? Know about that? Don't waste, bro. You can't waste. Because right now, when I could have been mad at it, he's just saying, hey, when are you coming back because I don't want to get bullied? But it's a question of perception. Everything is a question of perception. You can instead think that, oh, fuck, I'm lucky because I don't get bullied. How bad my situation is right now. If you're thinking about right now my situation, how bad it is. It's nothing compared to what I was feeling, compared to what I was dealing with before. Before was way worse. Is it normal to feel guilty? Because technically, like I said, at first people at work they were defending me. Then slowly but surely they kind of let him bully me, right? And like I said, I didn't receive a text from my boss, from any coworker, except for the guy who wants me to come back, so he doesn't have to work with a guy. That's the only text I receive, which is completely fucked, dude. Completely fucked. Spent 6 years there. But anyway, this is past. We're moving on. I feel lucky and I feel guilt because yeah, sure, I'm lucky because in my situation, how bad it is right now, like I said, it's improving, right? But I'm thinking about all the people and the fact that they have to work more because they don't know if I'm gonna come back in a month or not. I don't know either if I'm gonna come back. I don't want to come back, but there's a month, there's a year and a half. So if I have to force myself to do it, I'll force myself to do it. It's no problem, right? And at the end of the day, still feel bad about abandoning them for a month, for 2 months. That's guilt. That's survivor guilt in a fucked up way. For example, somebody that wins the lottery, there's a sense of elation, right? Somebody that wins the lottery and is before that he's poor. Then he wins the lottery and then he has money, but he knows what it is to be poor, right? He feels guilty because he says, "Wow, well, I'm happy that I won it." But think about all those people suffering. And sure, you can help people. You can help people through foundation. You can help people through organization. But there's a lot of people that take advantage of that, right? And it sucks because it shouldn't be that way. Now I'm gonna have to do a tax payoff. What technically is, for example, if you make $100,000, right? You're gonna get taxed for $100,000. But if you give out $25,000 for tax, then instead of paying a lot of taxes, you're gonna pay less taxes, and you're gonna be able to pay it as a tax write-off. So it kind of sucks that it's just the same in place, but the same in place is in place because people are gonna give otherwise, right? So we have a situation where we have a person that know what it is to be poor, becoming suddenly rich. So there's a balance. So for example, being poor is on the left of the spectrum and being rich is on the right of the spectrum, right? There has to be a middle, and I think this is the middle class. I think that's why most people are from the lower class. And the same people get rich over and over it. Then what can you say? What can you do? I mean, this is part of life. This is part of, I mean, you're going to get lucky in life. There's going to be time where you get very lucky. And sadly, I'm a person who believes that not everyone can be lucky. There's lucky and unlucky. And it's a constant wheel, right? One day you're lucky, one day your neighbor is lucky. That's in nature. But if you're lucky and you got a job, if you're lucky and you met the perfect girl, the perfect guy, if your neighbor is lucky, and for him, a day of luck was winning $10 at the lottery, finding a $20 bill on the ground. You see the level of luck compared to other level of luck, and then you feel bad because my life is so good, and those lives are so shitty. You're like, oh, I shouldn't be this lucky for other people to be unlucky. And all depends. If you work really hard, for example, on my YouTube, on my Twitch, on my TikTok, on my Instagram, I feel like I'm working very hard, right? I feel like I'm working very, very hard. And it bothers me because people come, and this is a side note, right? It bothers me because people, they want to come in, they want to do collabs. It bothers me because people, they want to self-promote. And I'm not a person that's going to self-promote. I put in so much fucking work and I don't self-promote. So for people to come in and say self-promote when I know they're working less, I'm like, dude, that's not okay. That's not okay. Put in work, then if I see that you're putting work, if I see that you're working 10 hours a day, and I understand that everybody has 10 hours a day. I understand that. For example, there's a guy on TikTok who's always asking for likes. Always. But he posts once a week. Right? And that's up to you, bro. You choose the amount of work you can do. Better story than that. Better story than that. I'm not gonna say name because but there was a close friend of mine, close friend, somebody I really liked, right? And he was he was a content creator also. So at the first we're becoming a real friend. We do duo, right? And then he started self-promoting a lot. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna help you out because you're my friend. And I want to help you because I believe that our friendship helps me create better content, and that our friendship helps me create better content. I'm gonna help you get the recognition that I think you deserve because the guy is talented, right? And then year and a half go by. I've been doing this for 2 years. 2 years, couple months. And the guy is now self-promoting every 2-3 days. And a couple of weeks ago, I was really, really depressed. I was considering unaliving myself. I was considering not waking up, you know? And the person self-promoted my DMs. Which is not cool. When somebody is not doing well, you don't self-promote. Rule of thumb. Sorry. So, I'm like, okay, fuck it. So I told them, leave me alone. I love you, but I cannot do right now. As the week go by, I feel better. I'm getting stronger day by day. So I worry about the guy and I go see his page. He's chilling with a new Twitch fan. So basically, and he had a lot less power than me. So basically, I feel like I don't know. I feel like sometimes the friendship wasn't honest, sincere. You know, the number of times I was left on read, the number of times I was left on read is incredible. You don't leave friends on read. You leave a mark on their last text. Fuck it. You know, and it sucked because it was a good friendship, and I feel like I feel like it wasn't honest, like I said, and it makes me think about. I was seeing my social worker, right? And we were talking about how it made me feel that nobody called after I was fired. We were talking about how what friendship was, how I was perceived at work. And she said, it was the kind of guy who expected to put an effort in the friendship and in seeing the same amount of effort being put back. But I shouldn't be able to decide, yo, the amount of work, this is the amount of work we got to put in a friendship. I think every friendship is like is a microcosm of a relationship. A friendship is as important as a relationship. You have to maintain that friendship. You have to put in effort. You have to put in the work. And it's not because most of the time people are not going to be putting the effort. We live in an era where it's so focused on social media. And that's a great thing. It was like on content that back in the days we didn't have nothing else to do but chill with friends. So there's this shift in society. There's shift of the promoted individualism, right? Because you're so able to be self-dependent, and I feel like being self-dependent is a lot easier than being codependent. And I understand that some people cannot stop themselves from being codependent, but most people, if they had a choice, would be self-dependent. So self-dependent is the action of being able to spend days, weeks, months alone, right? Problem with that, and that's from someone who spends months alone, right? It's become so enthralled with being alone, so enthralled with self-dependency, that every single interaction you have, that's my opinion, that's my perception, that is my experience, so it might be different. I'm sorry, it's so fucking warm in that house. Holy shit. So yeah, so being self-dependent is such a hard thing because every interaction you have, it's like, oh fuck, you're bothering me in my self-dependency, because I don't know, I'm not a shrink, I'm not a psycholog, right? Sorry, but I believe that we're doing when you're self-dependent, you have your own schedule, you have your own world, and when people talk to you, they come talk to you, and that's a great thing. True friend will talk to you, right? But for example, right now, my it is the first of July, and my landlord, he came knocking at 9:30 in the morning to ask for rent on the 1st. And I understand the first, I understand I have to pay the rent, I understand all of that, but I was having my own place. I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping at 8 o'clock. I'm not sleeping at midnight. I'm sleeping whenever I need to sleep. So most of the time I'm going to be awake, and most of the time I want to do streaming. I want to do clip. I want to do I want to focus on my YouTube, like my channel, making it nice, making it proper. And it really sucks because at the end of the day, although I want to help, I want to be a upstanding citizen. I want to be a role model for most of you guys. What is a good role model? What is a good thing to do? Dependency is also the quickest road to self-delusion. If you got nobody to challenge your ideal, nobody to challenge what you think, what you say, what you do, and you're gonna believe, you're gonna be convinced that it's the right thing to do because you don't have a proper example of what else to do, right? I can honestly say, when I started working at the place I was working before, I can honestly say I was 22 years old and I was unadept socially. I didn't have the social intelligence that I needed. I didn't have social intelligence that I should have had for my age. People always say, "Oh, ink is unique, ink is special," right? The reason I'm special because I was so unexperienced and normal interaction, and I didn't know what they were, right? So delusion, dependency, you're gonna be dependent on being alone. Whenever I'm put, I spend most majority of the last month alone, right? I've been talking with people for sure, but and text here and there is not the same as working every day with the same people. I'm working every day with 10, 12 people, which is different. So all of this to say, like, it's really hard to come back to a society when you spend all your day living outside of society. There's so many changes that changes. The world had that change. For example, it's really this is horrible. Like the first 2 weeks, I spent completely alone. Right? I spent in my apartment. I didn't go out. Whatever. After 2 weeks, I had to pay the rent for June. And I swear to God, they changed the light bulb in the past. I show a much brighter shade. And that old thing, it completely threw me off guard. Light bulbs are changed every day, everywhere in the world, for sure. But I went out and I was like, oh shit, when was this change? How long have I spent inside? And it was intimidating because it's intimidating because your perception of time, your perception of the evolution of life. So for example, people growing up, you growing up, right? I'm at an age at 30 years old where growing up is going to be much slower than if I was 5, 10, 18. Right? Those are a crucial part of your existence where you're growing up a lot, you're evolving a lot. So the evolution I'm facing at 30 is much less. And you get self-deluded, you get self-deluded, you get a feeling that since things are evolving so slowly inside, they must be evolving so slowly outside, right? But it's not. It's quite intimidating. But on the other hand, if you took a look at self-isolation, right? Like, oh my God, there's so many advantages. You got your own schedule. Which is I must have spent at least 8 years being waking up by an alarm every day. And now I don't have an alarm. And yes, I do sleep like 9 hours to 9 hours and a half a day. Sometimes 10 hours, and that's too much. But at the same time, my body is telling me, oh, you need to sleep. So if my body needs 10 hours, then I need 10 hours. I believe it's too much. I understand it's too much. And if I was a choice, I would sleep 4 or 5 hours so I could stream and clip. In the same time, you don't know what you need. I was always told that 8 hours of sleep is enough. But I don't believe that 8 hours of sleep is a majority. It's a golden rule. For example, I think the biggest problem in the school, I think, is thinking that a single book is going to be having the same effect on 32 kids. 35, 40, I don't know how much it is nowadays. Look, you see the sweat? Just from the place. So yeah, self-isolation has been doing wonders. waking up at the time I want, being able to do what I want, when I want, to be able to eat what I want. And I understand that as a person in an apartment, I think you can do that, but I got much less time to cook when I'm working, right? And yeah, a pistachio. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for today. It was a nice mukbang. I'll continue another day. And another day, we're going to be talking more about self-isolation, the pros, the cons. And I love you guys, that you matter. We're going to let you have a good day. And however, wherever you are, I really hope you're doing okay. You deserve it. Everybody deserves to be happy. Everybody deserves happiness. Everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves forgiveness. Just make sure that you spend your attention on people that do deserve your attention. Not the people that earn it, the people that always had it. Peace.